How many leads can an online arbitrage virtual assistant find for you daily for your Amazon FBA business? This is a question that was asked by Bene, who is, and by the way, I'm not sure this is how we pronounce your name. If it's not, let me know in the comments. But this is a question that was asked with Bene, a long-time subscriber of the channel. And so I thought it was a really interesting question, and this is why I wanted to answer this question today, okay? If you do not know me, by the way, my name is Mangunza. I release daily videos about selling on Amazon, more specifically about online arbitrage right here on YouTube. So if you're new, subscribe, like this video, you know what you have to do, right? So you'll get recommended more videos and you can learn how to become a 7-figure seller, hopefully. Because yeah, you have everything that you need for free to do that right there. Right, so you guys know that I've been on the quest for the last couple of months. I've been on the quest to actually outsource a lot of stuff in my online arbitrage business, and more specifically sourcing. I have a big part of the sourcing process that is outsourced already, and I keep adding small tasks and small nuance on top of that small process or the process to make sure that the whole process of sourcing for my online arbitrage business is taken care of by my VA, so I do not have to do that part of the business. No. You realize, and by the way, this video is not me telling you this is how you should do things. It's more of a video of me sharing my experience with you and showing what has been working for me right now and how I'm actually running the business. So it's a video that is more relaxed. It's not really a tutorial, all that stuff. But yeah, just so you know where it's coming from, okay, where I'm coming from, because I disagree with a lot of people in the space on how to actually run a business with VAs. However, there's a ton of people that have way more VAs than I do. Okay, I have 4 VAs right now working on my online arbitrage business. There's people with 10, 15, 20 VAs, and they may run stuff differently. But what I'm going to share with you guys right now is what I believe is the best way. After a lot of thoughts on the process, is what I believe is the best process to actually manage VAs. And I'm going to answer to this question, and my answer may not really, you may not really like my answer, but the real answer is that it depends. And especially since the way I'm actually working on outsourcing to VAs, sourcing, it really depends. Every single VA is not going to find the same amount of leads daily, because they are not necessarily doing the same stuff every single day. All right, so there's a ton of factors that are going to play into how many leads a VA is going to find, right? The first one is how many deals are currently available online. And you guys know that to track deals, we use the daily target lists that my VA is actually built every single day to have all the deals that are currently available. And the number of deals that are currently available on the websites that we track is directly correlated to the amount of leads that we are going to find, of course, because the more leads, and if you want to learn more about that, get the free ebook that I have in the description where I discuss this in length. But the truth is that, you know, it really depends. The first thing that is going to depend on is this. It's literally going to depend, like 80% of 80, like it's the biggest variable, okay? Because if there's not, like, we could have, and I haven't really looked in the past at how many leads we find on average a day and what's the standard variation and all that stuff. But this is stuff that could be interesting to look at to get a better understanding of all that stuff, and to get a better understanding of, should I say, odd zones? Odd zones meaning, you know, the odd dates, the best dates to actually find profitable online arbitrage products. Because this is definitely, like, this is 100% going to affect the number of leads that you're going to be able to find doing storefront stalking, the number of leads that you're going to be able to find doing manual sourcing, and the number of leads that you're going to be able to find doing online arbitrage, okay? Online arbitrage, using tactical arbitrage or arbitrage stalker. And these are the 4 sourcing things that I've outsourced right now, right? So, as I said, it really depends. It really depends on all that. Okay, so that's one of the biggest variables. So, once again, and I'm going to go to extreme examples, but like, for example, there could be one day where there's 10 sales to look at, and it's always going to be more than 10, but that we only have 10 promotion on websites that we track, and so it's just 10 websites that we're going to look at. Maybe we're going to find 1 lead because those sales are not too good, and which is, by the way, the second variable, because if the sales are not good enough, for example, it's just a 15% sale, you're not going to find a ton of leads. While on the other end, if you have a sale with 60% of just making things up, 60% of sale on the same website, of course, you're going to find way more leads, right? But So it all depends on that. That's the two things that it's going to depend on first, right? And so after that, there's also the sourcing method. All my VAs are not necessarily doing the same sourcing method, and you know, this is really why it's hard to actually give a number of that on that. And this is not necessarily something that you should. I think this is not the right way to see it, right? And I'm going to explain to you guys why. So the way I do it and the way I run my online arbitrage business, and once again, people may disagree with me, but in my opinion, this is the most efficient way to run your Amazon business. Well, if you do online arbitrage, the way I run my business is that I want to know what's going on online and what type of products are available, and I want to know everything. Okay, on the small part of the internet that I'm actually tracking, which is storefront that I'm tracking, you know, the type of storefronts that we look at, the website that we're tracking, that we're going to do manual sourcing, that we're going to do tactical arbitrage on. I want to know everything that is going on those websites. Okay, I want to know what type of products I can get on those websites, what types of products just got to the new storefront that we have, what type of product I can find doing manual sourcing, what type of products are not going to get pulled doing tactical arbitrage, what type. And this is really like, this is what I would call my niche, and this is how I run my business. And so having multiple VAs is something that actually allows me, and this is how I actually see it. It actually helps me cover more ground. This is really my philosophy when it comes to actually sourcing. Okay, I want to cover as much ground as possible. Okay, and my goal is, if I'm actually into a category, cover as much ground as possible in that specific category. This is really, really, really where I want to go. For example, if I'm selling Nike shoes, I want to know everything that has to be known about Nike shoes. Which type of Nike shoes to go for, and what is actually an interesting price for those Nike shoes. Okay, so I will have a couple of models. I would have an extensive database, and this is literally what I'm building. This is literally why my business is taking a long time to actually outsource a lot of stuff, because this is literally what I'm building right now. So I'm actually working on actually outsourcing sourcing, and this is I'm actually going to dominate the space, right? So we're understanding all the shoes, for example, that we are going to go for, getting an idea of what price we need to get them for, and having an idea of what the price currently is on all the websites. Or like, first of all, what websites we can actually get those shoes. Second of all, what's a good price at which we can actually go get those shoes. And third, actually knowing at what price those shoes are currently on the market. Okay, and so that way I can cover a lot of ground. Same thing, for example, if I'm sourcing, I don't know, if I'm sourcing, let's say I'm sourcing Nike.com, I need to know what people that are actually sourcing on Nike.com are selling. Are currently selling. What are they selling that I'm not selling? What type of products do they go for? What type of products is going to tank? What type of products is going to be good? What type of products is not going to have a lot of stock? And this is really why I'm trying to cover as much ground, because it's way easier to make purchasing decisions if you have all these information. And this is really how I was able to scale fast my business when I started, because this is how my philosophy actually is different from the philosophy of a lot of people. The way a lot of people think about outsourcing, okay, with VAs, and the truth is that I'm actually, like, I'm only hiring VAs that do not know anything about Amazon. I train them from scratch, and I've been asking some sellers lately if they've been noticing a difference in between hiring sellers that are new to the business or hiring sellers that are in the community, and people that have hired way more VAs than I do. And I haven't really got a definitive answer. This is something that I'm investigating, but I think that the way I'm going to run my business is I'm going to keep doing it this way. I don't think I will hire people in the community, people that are actually already sourcing. But to get back to what we were saying, the way I'm actually running my online arbitrage business is that I want to cover as much ground as possible. That means that I need to get a lot of knowledge of sales cycle, about all that stuff, so I know when I need to go for what products, and I can get the best decision I can. The way a lot of people think about actually outsourcing the sourcing part of your business to VA is that they think that they're just going to hire a VA and they are going to say, okay, here's all the way that you can source, just figure it out, you just need to return me leads every single day, right? And so it's not, I mean, you know, you could, but I think it's not the best way, because it's like the best KPI, in my opinion, is how much you can cover your niche. Okay, the things that you know. You do not necessarily need to have a super niche, but like the things that you control, the things that you want to go for, the things that you sell, you want to get a really good idea of that stuff and cover as much ground regarding that stuff. If you are selling Nike products, you need to know every single website where you can actually source Nike products. You need to know every single website where people source Nike products. For example, you know, if you sell Air Force One, you need to know every single website that sell Air Force One, because that way you can replan and you can figure out. And if you do this, you will know really well what is a good price, what is a bad price. You will have an understanding of if the market is going to tank, if the market is going to stay stable, based on how many websites are actually having a sale on that product. And this is really the way. I think this is really the way online arbitrage should go. And you may think that it's overkill. You may think that the way I'm actually running my business is actually overkill. But I would argue it's not, okay? Because like I'm trying to really set up my business this way, because the space is only getting more competitive. Like it's getting more competitive as we go. The business is not going to be the same in 5 years, okay? And this is why I'm actually spending my time right now building my business this way, because I will not need to adapt, because I will be the guy that people will need to adapt to, you know? Hopefully that makes sense. So this is the way I think. So to answer the questions, give a definitive answer to the question, it really depends, okay? I can have one day where my VAs find 10 leads. I can have a day when my VA find 3 leads. I can have a day where my VA find 20 leads. It happens, okay? It really depends. For example, if there's a crazy sale, like, and as I said, it depends on a ton of things. There's a lot of variable, okay? It depends on what type of, and this is not the way I track it. I just want to, so the way I actually track this thing, I want to make sure that I cover as much ground as possible in the way and in the things that I want to cover. It could be that the place that I'm covering, the things that I'm currently covering, have less profitable, have less of a supply of profitable inventory right now. So it's going to impact greatly the amount of leads that I'm going to find. But as I grow and as I cover more grounds, this should be more stable. But yeah, right now, this is where we are right now. And this is the way I actually think about it. And in my opinion, this is the best way to think about it. And this is, you should adapt now and you should actually see the business this way. So you have a few steps, you are a few steps ahead of the competition. This is really the way I'm thinking about it. This is really the way I'm in the process of outsourcing. And once again, I will repeat, it really depends, okay? So for example, if there's a 70% off sale on Nike.com, or there's a bugged coupon, whatever, like there's something that makes products super cheap, of course we're going to find a lot of leads. You know, if it's a little bit slower, it's going to be a little bit slower. It's fine. As long as the thing that I'm really looking at is I want to monitor those things. There's a lot of things that I want to monitor, all the websites. My goal is really to be able to monitor every single website that we track and have, like, be able to cover all that ground, okay? Right now we are not able to cover everything, and we are not able to cover everything in time, because the big thing as well is that it's hard to manage everything and to get to everything on the day where the sales are actually released, and so we need to prioritize stuff, and so we miss some stuff because other people find it before us, and it's fine. It's totally fine for the stuff that is limited, okay? For the inventory that is limited and all that stuff, it's totally fine. But yeah, so that's the way I think about it. Hopefully this video was helpful. If it was, leave a like, do all that YouTube stuff. Hopefully that answer will satisfy you. If it doesn't, just let me know in the comments. But yeah, the real answer is that it really depends. I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you for watching.